This is Lincoln from Easley's Entertainment, and today we're going to go through the cleaning process for face painting. We're going to be cleaning wolf cakes, we're going to be cleaning split cakes, we're going to be cleaning solid cakes, bowls, sponges, everything. And it's very important to make sure your products are clean. And we're going to go through the whole process of how I go through the cleaning process. There is no wrong way of doing this, but this is what I think is the most efficient way of making sure my products are clean. There's ways that you can clean them on and off the job. Some are more efficient than others, but these are ways that you can actually clean them while you're on the job, and these are ways you clean them when you're off the job. I prefer to clean them when I get home, when I'm off the job, and have them ready to go when I get to work. We have a lot of downtime when we're doing this job, so this is the time to use your downtime. As I always say, you're working when you're not working. So we're going to get to work here, and we're going to start cleaning the products. Okay, so for what we're about to do here is we're going to start cleaning our products. The best thing I would recommend is you want to have a towel all lined up, so that way you can just roll a towel out, because you may need to use a towel when doing your cleaning process. The next thing you'd want to do is you need to have a case of baby wipes. Baby wipes just about anywhere. I prefer Huggies. I think they're the best. They're the most decontaminated product to use, especially for what you're about to do. So the products that we're going to clean is we're going to be cleaning glitter cases, we're going to be cleaning our split cakes, we're going to be cleaning our solid cakes, we're going to be cleaning the water container, the mirror, brushes, and sponges. So the process that I use is going through and I just start cleaning the solid cakes first. So first things first, we're going to get ourselves a baby wipe. We're going to get a solid cake. To clean the solid cakes, what you want to do, you just want to go through and you just want to get a nice good clean. Yes, you're going to be pulling the paint up, because when you're going through and you're working in this line of work, you got to make sure your cakes are nice and clean. So just scrub them nice and good, get them nice and clean, so when you go and do a job, they're acceptable. So when you get all these nice and cleaned up, have them look good. There's that one. That's acceptable. Now if you look at some of these, like the orange, that's a little bit easy. When you go through and you start mixing them together, it doesn't look so good. So it's very important, get a new one out, start cleaning. Some of these have little dips in them. I've had these for about 3 years. They go a long ways. Versus these are 90 grams. Then there's also the 30 grams. I prefer 90 grams because they last forever. They don't go bad. These particular paints will last as long as you need to use them. They are water-based. There are 3 different types that you can get. There's oil-based, there's water-based, and there's alcohol-based. Alcohol-based is mainly for airbrushing versus this. This is water-based. I use either Tag, Wolf, Paradise, or Snickerdoodle are the 4 that I use. I use only professional grade paint, and that's only that I use because you do not want to use anything. So buying stuff from the dollar store or anywhere else is not good. But that will be a later video. So we already have these all cleaned up. Now we're going to go through and we're going to do our one strokes. These are called one strokes. We're doing our one stroke design, so this is what I use for making butterflies, dragons, flowers, very simple designs. Now you don't want to go side to side on these or split cakes, and I'll show you what's going to happen on the split cake if you go side by side. So you just go straight in, nice and clean. There we go, nice and clean, very easy. Okay, so those are all cleaned up. Now we have our split cake we got to clean. To clean that, not to do. You do not want to go side by side like that, because if you notice, it smears it all up. So to clean these, it's very important to only go one direction. One stroke, one direction. That way, you're staying consistent with the colors. If you notice, all cleaned up, looking nice, looking good. Okay, now we have all our split cakes and everything all cleaned up. Now we're going to go through and clean the glitter. It's not a high demand to do your glitter, but when you're working for clients, having your products and everything looking clean shows a lot of hygiene for your products. You want your products to look clean. So that way, when you're doing jobs and you're doing everything, people look at your stuff and you look at your setup and they can see how everything is very clean and looking good. So it's very important to keep your stuff clean. Now for your water dispensary, it's very important to keep these clean. You could easily put something like this in the sink and wash it and scrub it. But if you're on the job and you have to do a quick clean, this works really well. There are different alternatives to clean some of these products. So that's just a quick clean that I'm doing. As you see, I use a lot of baby wipes. I have a whole closet full of baby wipes. So I'm not worried about running out of baby wipes. In fact, I would even have women with children that would say when you have children, having baby wipes is having like flowers for a woman with a child, because babies, children always make a mess. So when you're having things like this and you have to clean them up, just like children, you got to get them cleaned up. Baby wipes can go a long ways. I actually prefer them over paper towels. So as you can see, it's not perfectly clean, but you can go in the sink and you can wash it out and it'll be nice and clean. So it takes a few minutes to clean these up, but they do get nice and clean when you go to do it. Soap and water is what you'd want to use. Hot soapy water cleans these right up. So doing this stuff is very important to understand that you want to do this. You want your clients to see your products. You want them to see what you're doing. And if you have a mess and you have things that are messy, it doesn't look good. It's like I say, business practice, business practice, business practice. It's very important to have good etiquette, good business practice. So now we're going to go and clean the mirror up. Let's get it all nice and clean, looking good. I also like using baby wipes because if you can, the way I see it is if you can use it on children, you can use it on your products. And that's a very important aspect. See, nice and clean, nice and shiny. A lot of kids like to handle these mirrors, and I like to make sure that these are clean. With the virus going around, I want to make sure all my products are at their best. Even though there's a process going on with the virus, you got to make sure your products are nice and clean. When it comes to brushes, surprisingly, I like to have my brushes to where they have their paint on them, where it's nice and solid, because that will actually protect your bristles when you transport them. Then before I go and clean them, I go through and I just use a baby wipe and I just clean the bristles, just like that, and it gets nice and clean. And this is the reason why, because like when you transport it, the bristles stay consistent, stay solid. So this is a really good way of cleaning your bristles. Now for doing your sponges, there's a couple of different ways to clean your sponges. And you can hand clean them, or what I like to do, I like to put them in a bag like this. You take them home, you put them in your wash, you wash them on cold, and you pull them out, and you just leave them in your bag, or you can pull them out, land them all out, and they will air dry. If you do not want to dry them, just let them air dry, and they'll be as good as new. You can even take them with you right after you pull them out and use them on a job. I've done that before. So this is a very good, efficient way of doing it, but this is something you have to do the day before the job. Now, if you have to have something that you have to have the day of the job, what I generally do is I'd have a bowl of water, decontaminated water, and I would take the sponges, I'd dunk the sponges in, you can just go like that. Just squeeze, 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 squeeze. And that will get the sponges nice and clean. You will have a little bit of paint residue on them, but by the time you're done, the sponges will be nice and clean, they'll be ready to go. Then you just set them right there, let them dry. Do the same thing. You may have to get new water periodically. You do this right over a sink, and it'll go pretty easy. You have your teardrop sponges, same way, and those clean right up. There are sponges that you cannot put in the wash. Like there's ones that have the sticks on, you can't use those. So like these right here, these are the ones with the sticks on them. So you can't use those. So do those, you just put them in the water, you squeeze, just like that. And this is something that's optional that I do, is once I have those all cleaned up, I actually take a baby wipe and I'll clean the handle. Just do a quick cleanup on the handle, just have it all nice and clean, have it looking good. And there we go. Now we have our sponges all clean, we have our paints all clean, we have our glitter clean, we have our one stroke, we have our watering case, we have this clean, and that's about it for what we're doing here for basic cleanup. Very important to have cleanup in your jobs. It's very important to be able to have the products to clean up, because if you go into a job and your whole thing's a mess, it doesn't show good etiquette. A lot of people would not let you even touch their kids because you have products that are a mess and it does not look good for what you're going to be doing.